Hello everyone, welcome to Bread-a-licious. Today, chili and cornbread bowls. Our focus, the cornbread bowl. So, I have some loaves pre-made and already pre-risen, so I'm just gonna show you how I do the plop. I get that lined up, pops right out, and again, that's thanks to our floured napkins. Little sticky there, but that's okay. I'm gonna separate these two. All right, that'll be fine. Then I'm gonna plop this guy. Very good. All right, I wanna show you a different scoring trick. We've been using a knife, but you can also use scissors. And you can do is cut the corners of these round loaves. And this is perfect for us because we're gonna be making it into a bowl. So I just go in from the center, do 4 things, and again. Alrighty, so I'm gonna grab my wooden utensil that's been somewhat soaked. Alrighty, a little bit of smooth. Get these in the oven. The oven is at 460 degrees. I have a slight mix up. There we go. Add my water. This is gonna need a baking time of 30 minutes total. As always, we do our 10-minute steam. And the chili's on the stovetop. So, there we go. Let's get started, y'all. Be right back. Okay, everyone, so here we go. The jalapeno cheddar bread was something we did in the previous. And we used bigas for that bread. We used bigas for the pepperoni roll. But for this dough, we actually use a poolish, okay? So your poolish for this bread, this actual cornbread, is gonna be equal parts flour and water. So you have 8 ounces of unbleached bread flour and 8 ounces of water that I just put in here, and I put a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. The yeast starts feeding off of all that and mixing. So I get this going. And I would like to zoom in here. This is much more liquidy. It doesn't get as powdery as the other ones. This one's a lot more liquidy, and that's what a poolish is considered. So a poolish is either equal parts water to flour with yeast or slightly more water than flour and yeast. So it will always be equal parts water or more water, and that's what makes this particular starter the name poolish. So fun starter facts with Frank, you know. Alrighty, so that's done. I pull that in. And today I'm using a mixture of white and yellow cornmeal, but you'll need a pound of bread flour for the dough, your poolish, 8 ounces of cornmeal. I'm doing half and half, 4 ounces of white, 4 ounces of yellow, 12.2 ounces of water, 1.6 ounces of oil, 1.5 teaspoons of dry yeast, and then a tablespoon of salt, okay? And that's how that goes. So the advantage to the round loaves is the scissor technique of snipping works well. If you ever do oval loaves, you can actually cut different parts of it, almost like bird's feet. It's actually kind of fun. And let's talk about chili. And let's talk about how this artisan bread fits in it. But before that, I'm gonna stir the chili, gonna check some things, and I'll be right back. Okay, so when we're dealing with artisan style cornbread, you're dealing with something different, okay? So it's not typically a sweet cornbread, and it's not always quote-unquote soft. You have this mixture of cornmeal for the corniness and bread flour for the actual chew. However, the mixing, it's the same. You get your dry ingredients incorporated, add your yeast, salt, get that together real quick, then add your liquid, your water, your olive oil. You knead that like you normally would for about 8 to 10 minutes until it starts to form and bounce back. Then you let it sit for 2 hours. In the middle of that 2 hours, the bulk fermentation, you do your trifold like you do all your other breads. So if you notice throughout this season, it's mix the dough, let it rest, do a fold in the middle, let the flavor and gases continue to build up. Shape it, let it rise a bit, then bake. And of course, the cooling stage, which is important in baking. Sorry, that's my timer. Yep, the cornbread's just fine. But when you're a kid in the kitchen, you're gonna have to do stuff like that. Welcome to the baking world. But the advantage to this loaf is it makes a great vessel for any soup. I chose chili because cornbread goes very well with chili. And the other advantages and why I didn't really offer a chili recipe, I'm doing a vegetarian bean chili, but you can pick your favorite chili and go with that. There's so many different kinds that are all very well and good. And I don't want to get into the argument of whose chili is best, you know, I don't want to do that. But you know, I'm trying to chill out with my cornbread, if you get my drift. So it's gonna be a fun time just enjoying your neighborhood chili or your favorite chili or your grandma's chili or your own very secret recipe chili. It can go from sweet to hot to spicy to vegetarian, all kinds of stuff out there. So that's why I don't really go into a chili recipe this time around. Next, with the bread shaping, like we showed you with the scissor cuts, those are excellent because they form little pockets. And then you do that twist motion. Remember, that's guiding with one hand and pushing in the other way. So to do it widely, I'm doing this just on a smaller scale, and I'm digging into the dough. So if the dough's here, I'm digging it in, and as it tightens and wraps. That's how you get that nice smooth ball, okay? So now that that's cooking, and we talked a bit about cornbread, let's talk about how bread can be used as vessels. So the advantage too is earlier in the season we did ajori hachapuri, the Ajorian cheese bread. But if you want to have a fondue night, there's nothing wrong with taking the loaf of bread, doing a loaf form, sawing out the top, taking out all that bread and using that as a vessel for the fondue, and you have all those little crumbs to deal with to kind of for people to grab and dip. Bread can be time consuming, but what I recommend is if, you know, because you have more time for bread than you think you do in most cases. For me, when I'm personally at my home here and just cooking, it's usually the day where I have to do a bunch of stuff at the house anyway. So for me, I have laundry day, and it's the same as dishwasher day, and it's the same as clean a house day. So I'll get the night before, I'll make my starter. That morning, I'll get the bread mixed and folded. During that 2 hour time, I'm starting the laundry, I'm running the dishwasher and all that stuff, and then I can fold. And then by the time I'm done with that halfway folding, it's time to actually get the laundry from the washer to the dryer, and then I'm putting the dishes away. Then it's time to actually shape it and let it rise. And while that's happening, I'm usually folding the clothes out of the dryer, you know. So I take bread day as the inner home chore day. Although for me, I don't think bread's a chore at all, and it's this nice, great, toasty snack at the end of a, you know, house chore day. So that's something to think about when you're trying to find time to make for bread. So other than that, we're gonna wait 20 minutes and we're gonna get this bread out of the oven. Okay, so the cornbread is ready. Let's get it out of the oven. Oh, fumble everyone, that's okay. They slide around, that happens. That's also why I showed y'all the wooden version, because with this guy, yeah, you have to have your pot ready, but it's not as slick, so it is nice. Now, I did want to show you something. So these two didn't turn out that great. These two did. This guy flop-sided, so when I tried to readjust it real quick, it didn't happen. This guy rolled over on me, but I let it go, and here's why. When you hit that stone slab, you can maybe stretch it out a little bit, so I was like able to save this guy a little, but when it flips on you, this is what happens. You can try to bring it back, but as soon as it hits that stone slab, it starts to cook. Okay, it has that pre-stone rise, as it's called. But we're gonna let these cool, then we're gonna cut them open. Again, they don't match, still usable though, and I'll show you what to do. And then another thing too is like, it's a little dark on the bottom, but again, you can always scrape that cornmeal off, even with a butter knife, if you don't want it on there. And then like this color is perfect. A little bit of dark doesn't mean anything in artisan bread. It's perfectly natural. Alrighty, we're gonna wait for this to cool and then we'll get our chili in it. Okay, so next, to prepare this, we make a slit in the center. I just cut. Just be careful, keep your hand away from the serrated part. Okay. And then, yep, and then you keep that top the way it is. Oh, and it's been cooling for 20 minutes. And then what you do is you just take a fork. Trust me, use a fork here. Don't use your fingers. The trick is push, guide, circle, push, guide, circle, push, guide. Remember, you're dealing with an artisan bread. You do this right before serving, by the way. Excellent. Okay. And then you have all that space to work with. So I just take the underneath carriage and I stuff some chili in there. And then you can present it to them like that, like a little hat with the crumbs on a separate plate. And there you have it, everyone. That is chili in an artisan style cornbread bowl. And the advantage is these bowls are pretty sturdy, so if it's family style and you have the chili out, this can have a second or third serving. So if people want a second helping, they just got to ladle more stew or chili in, and the bread bowl will hold just fine. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Until next time, everyone, I'm Chef Frank with Bread-a-licious. Enjoy now.